Well, I think a lot of the discussion this time around is on the Nagoya Protocol, given the expectations from the last COP, and I think that many countries are looking to see the ratification of the treaty, and to get down to work in countries. And as the Executive Secretary has said, that his interest really is on implementation.
So from your experience, when microfunds are extended to small organizations and communities, how effective has the implementation been among the small organizations and communities?
Okay, well, I work with the GEF Small Grants Program, which is a decentralized mechanism of providing funds to national NGOs, civil society organizations, community-based groups. And our experience has been that if you really give responsibility decision-making to the countries to use expertise in countries that works, we have what we call national steering committees in every country which review the proposals in the languages of the countries. And that means that you have a faster turnaround. You can actually increase your delivery, have a more fast and friendly mechanism. And we'd like to expand this to as many areas of work in relation to the different environmental conventions and topics as we can.
So I'd like to understand a trend in the recent times. If microfunds are extended to the organizations, have the rate of returns on those, sort of micro loans improved over the last few years, or does it work like a non-interest grants to organizations? Because we see that more and more small private sector players are coming into taking up social responsibilities as well as getting into sustainability, things. So how do you see the trend in the recent times?
Well, I guess in India you have a very vibrant entrepreneurial culture and other groups that are coming in, and I think working in the development space, which in the past was more maybe dominated by grants. But although I work with a grant-making mechanism which is coming from public sector funding, we look for partnerships at all levels. So I think the beauty of small grants is that you can work with local government, you can work with the private sector, you can calculate the in-kind contribution of communities, and the ownership of communities will be very strong because they can't run away. They'll be there, whether you like it or not. But you mentioned the topic of loans, and I think one area that is interesting to look at is the transition from grants to loans. How do you graduate from a small grant to a loan? And that's something which is maybe the whole new wave of entrepreneurs and other groups may explore that transition. How do you reduce the risk to go beyond a micro loan to this, what they call the missing middle, which is before you can actually be bankable for a bank, you need to fill this gap. And this is where there are some innovative projects now looking at how to reduce the risk for an intermediary financial institution to make it interesting for them to take a risk and to provide a small loan, which may be for biodiversity-friendly business, it could be for climate change friendly business, and that's a really interesting area.